right, today's lesson is about congruence. Most of the congruence we're going to be talking about today are triangles. So, to be exact, all of it is going to be about triangles. So, we have some vocabulary you need to know. Congruent, and then that sign right underneath, right next to it is the congruent side, and it's called congruent figures. And congruent figures have the same size and the shape, and their corresponding parts have equal measures. So when we're doing congruence, we're discussing two of the same kind of congruent figures, means same two triangles, and they look alike. And we're going to discuss how to see if they are congruent. So there are three ways of looking at it. You can identify congruent triangles. There's the side way, or we called it SSS, instead of writing out side. And that means each side of corresponding. So notice on the triangles underneath side, you have 1 and 1. That means they correspond to each other. The 2-lined and the 2-lined, they correspond to each other. And the 3-line, they correspond to each other. So that means that they are congruent. Now you have what's called the side angle side. So you have one side that are equal to each other. And I'm going to discuss the second side. They're congruent to each other. Now, notice how the angle is in between the side and the side. So does the angle need to be in between. So this angle is between the two sides there. You cannot have a triangle that looks like this, because right here it says angle side or side angle, but you cannot do it that way. It does not work. The angle needs to be in the middle. Then you have the third one, which is angle side angle, or ASA. And notice I have an angles. This time there's one line for each angle, and that means they correspond. And then two sides here, two swishes for angles, that means they correspond. Notice again, the side is in the middle this time, and it's the same idea because it says angle, side, angle. You cannot have side, angle, angle, or angle, angle, side. It does not work. You need to have the side in between the two angles that are corresponding to each other. All right, let's look at example 1. All right, example 1 says triangle AMN is congruent to ABC. So I'm going to teach you a little cheating way. For angles, they go in order from where they are. So angle A goes with angle A. So congruent. Angle A. I'm going to give myself some room on this one, and I'll show you what you do. Angle A is congruent to angle A, then angle M would be congruent to angle B. Congruent to angle B. Then angle N is congruent to angle C. Oh, I forgot angle in there. Angle N is congruent to angle C. Now, on the first part here, you have this angle and you have this angle. They equal each other. And how to write that? You start with angle N to angle A, and then to angle M. That makes that angle. So you're going to put N and M here. To do the second one, going to do C to A to B. So it's going to be C, A to B. And that's how you would write that angle. But if you wrote angle A to angle A, congruent to angle A, I'll understand it. And the reason why I could tell you that they're, even by just looking at them, they're congruent to each other because they are vertical angles. We've discussed it in last lessons. Okay, congruent sides. ABC. I'm going to erase them so you can see ABC and AMN. Okay, so another cheating way to look at this is they'll tell you AM, side AM is congruent to side AB. And then you have MN would be congruent to BC. And then you have the outers. So you would have AN is congruent to AC. So if I find the distance from N to M. Well, I have CB is 100 yards. And it says it's congruent to NM, MN. So that means MN equals 100 yards. And that's how you would do this section. Alright, let's look at example 2. Okay, for this one we're going to do corresponding parts. They kind of gave you all the corresponding parts on this one, just the ones that you need to do. So I'm going to look at the sides that have one dash, and you're going to put that they're corresponding. So you have MO is congruent to RQ. Notice I have M goes first and then O, and then R has the same angle, so you put RQ. And then I'm going to put the angle because it's right next to MO. So it's going to be angle M is congruent to angle R.
You made another street?
And then last sides, you have MN is congruent to side RP. Now if I looked, I have a side, an angle, and a side. So they are equal to each other by side, angle, side. So here's how you're going to write your write a congruent statement. You're going to go triangle MNO is perpendicular to triangle RPQ by SAS or SAS. Let's try the next one together. So I have some angles right here. I have angle A, but the angle A on the left is going to be WAB. So you're going to say angle WAB is congruent to XAB. XAB. And then I have an angle, but I know we don't have an angle thing, so I'm going to, remember you have side, 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 angle, side, and angle, side, angle. So I have a side that needs to go somewhere in there. Hold on a second. Alright, so we're going to do the other angle. And that's going to be the two angles that have 90 degrees. So I know angle B is in the middle. So I'm going to give myself some space for the side.
We have enough too to just have like an extra guy in every single group, and then it would just be even. Yeah, I know.
So we
I
have
would honestly rather have
WBA.
that than have the chance of going with like. That's
Probably
kinda awkward.
really weird.
Yeah, that's what it
XBA.
is with me. So,
So I have angle WBA is congruent to angle
That's probably
XBA.
not one of you guys, that's for sure.
Okay, now I need to find my side.
Probably Jeremy.
Well, if I looked,
Because like you
I'm
guys
gonna
played,
draw
you know?
a
Like,
triangle
who played-
again.
like, did Eric put you?
we all like, I put Dominic and Eric.
And Eric put Dominic and Judah.
Dominic and
You
Judah.
put-
Dominic
yeah,
put
okay.
Eric and Judah.
Yeah, okay, so you guys
And Dominic and I put Chance.
As long as
All
you
right.
guys don't like just get in trouble. Like,
I mean, everyone was saying because I went with
All right,
him
so
to
you have this triangle here.
Disneyland, you know, or California Adventure in his car.
Judah, what was your
Or
third
whatever.
person?
So,
Oh, yeah.
Judah, what was your third person?
we
And then
put
you-
Chancellor. Remember?
yeah.
And
Chance is like great.
And then so you have your line,
and then-
your
yeah,
two
I was gonna
lines.
put Isaac 'cause, like,
And notice they all have, they both have the same line that's the same, AB. So you're gonna say AB is congruent to AB. Now, for your information, this is called the reflexive property.
That's kind of cool.
On the file we have it.
Because AB, anything that's gonna be equal to itself. So now you can look at it. I have an angle, a side, and an angle. So angle, side, angle would be,
No, like Batman.
you're gonna say triangle ABW is congruent to triangle
Hey, just like Batman.
ABX. Now, again, I'm starting with A, then B, and then W, but you could start with W, and you can go WAB would be to
I have like the best
XAB. So it's up to you on which one you're going to start with. Is by
Batman.
ASA.
Whoa, someone put attack in the ceiling.
Okay, oh, I forgot to put down the variables on this.
I wonder who
So
did that.
A, B, C
No.
is congruent to Z and Y.
I can touch through.
Okay. So, again, you have your
No, can you touch through?
one sign, one line, dot, so I'm going to do that first. So I'm going to have BC is congruent to YZ.
20, 25. We have like,
And then I have my two lines, so it's going to be CA is congruent to YA. And then I have BA is congruent to ZA.
in math.
And so I have side, side, side. So you're going to say triangle ABC
You're at school. It's not
is congruent to triangle AZBY
chill.
by SSS.
Yeah, she's been doing it like every single day.
All right. I think that's the end of the section. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
No, I'm talking about what you